What's up, cool kids? FD White back with another episode. Welcome to the channel. So let's talk about crypto. Let's talk about crypto, man. Today we had a pretty good day. We had a nice little bounce coming from 110,000 and some change off the back of some data that came out. And we have another set of data coming out tomorrow that may do the same thing. So without further ado, let's jump into it right now. Bitcoin is sitting at 112,075. Ethereum is sitting at 4468. Fear and greed is at 44. Bitcoin dominance is sitting around 57.6. I like to use the Bitcoin dominance on trading view, and that's sitting at 58.40. So what I'm looking at for the market right now, matter of fact, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me show you this. I'm not sure if you guys are really familiar with this. Coin Market Cap has stepped their game up. They really stepped their game up, and I like this right here. Where is it at? Market cycle indicator. So it has 30 market cycle top indicators that analysts usually go off of to tell if it is a top in Bitcoin, to tell if it is a top in the cycle. And out of the 30, zero. Let me. Can I zoom in on this? We have zero. That are hit right here. 0 out of 30 market cycle top indicators are firing off right now. So that's a good sign. I'm not really like too subscribed to going off market cycle top indicators. For the most part, we have a lot of different variations. Variables and a lot of different things that are happening this cycle. But 0 out of 30, we can't deny that. That's a good sign for us investors if we want the market to continue. If we want the market to continue its bull run, which I think, and which I've been saying, I think we are still in a bull run, and I think we will continue to go up going into the tail end of Q4. Speaking of the news that we were talking about earlier, today we did get JOLTS job openings come in a little bit under from forecast. So it was coming in, or it was predicted to be 7.38 million. It came in at 7.18 million. So tomorrow we have this. So that catapulted not only crypto market, but it also catapulted the TradFi market. So tomorrow we have ADP, non-farm employment change, and we have unemployment claims. So what investors are looking for, what we're looking at, which I don't, it sounds bad. Investors are looking for, and traders are looking for, what's going to happen with these unemployment claims. If they come in higher than what's predicted at 230, then the market will rally. If these ADP non-farm employment change comes in lower, the market is probably going to rally. If we get both, the market is probably going to rally a little bit harder. And that's coming off the premise of rate cuts. It all boils down to rate cuts. The weaker the job market is, the weaker the labor market is, the more inclined the Federal Reserve will be to cut. So it's like 95% baked in that they're going to cut in a couple weeks at the September 17th or 18th FOMC meeting. But as long as the labor market keeps deteriorating, more rate cuts will happen. Even though inflation seems like it's sticky and it seems like it's on the rise, they're in a pickle right now. And as long as this labor market seems like it's getting weaker, they're going to have no choice but to continue to cut. And that's good for assets, because rate cuts, more liquidity, more inflation, assets get inflated as well, because the rate cuts are going to, it's a whole thing. But long story short, as long as the job market continues to deteriorate, they will have to cut rates. And that will mean that, assets will probably do good. That's why it's kind of hard to navigate what's going to happen in 2026. It's very hard. Even if we believe in the 4-year cycle, even if you believe that, we get rate cuts going into the tail end of Q4, that catapults the rest of the bull run. Going into Q1 2026, Q2, I don't know how much the labor market will start to deteriorate. I don't know how late the Federal Reserve is. They may be too late. It could just fall off a cliff, and that would not be good for markets either. So we'll continue to watch the labor market. We'll continue to watch this data, and this will just be something that catapults us in a short term. So if you're looking to trade, just trade that. You can trade that. It's kind of risky, going into it, but once we get the news, once we get the actual data coming out, it should be some sort of clear direction for like some sort of a scalp or some sort of a day trade. Let's talk about Bitcoin right now. We're sitting a little bit under 112K right now, sitting at 111,940, and I really just want to hold or stay around this level of 112. This is one of our key levels. We have 112, we have 116, and we have 120. No, we had a high of about 122. We had another high of about our all-time high coming in at about 124K and some change. But really, that $120,000 level, staying above that is where we want to get and where we want to be. But first and foremost, we got to get back above and hold 112, back above and hold 116. So I drew this out a little bit earlier because history has shown us that we usually have some sort of high in August, and then we have some sort of low in September. And what do we see? We already had a low of 107,300 on what? September 1st. So that very well could be in line with our thesis with it being the low in September. So hopefully that is a low, because the higher we can stay in September, the higher we can go when the market starts to get frothy again. The lower we go, if we break this and we go lower, 105, 100K, below that, then it'll be, I don't think we get as high as we possibly could once the market does turn around again. So we want to kind of stay, we want this to be the low. In all actuality, even if we just hover around this between, 107, 112, 110, 107, just hovering around this area, we want that to be the low. We don't really want to go any lower than that. Because we want, once the market starts to get going again, we want it to be going from a higher place. We don't want to be trying to get started from a lower place. So Bitcoin right now, I actually like what I'm seeing right now. This is on the hourly. Looks like we're trying to flag right at support. So I like this. I like this a whole lot. So I'm possibly going into the Asia session. We'll get some sort of a pop coming out, maybe retesting these highs at about 113.5. We'll see. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm not going to trade tonight. I'm probably going to just relax, watch a movie, and get ready for tomorrow's news and market open. But I like what I see here. I definitely like what I see here. And then it's 3 levels, like I talked about, that we want to look at. We have this 112 that we want to hold, stay above and hold. We have this 116, and then really our major line is this 120K area, which we want to hold and stay above. Once we get back above, I think once we get back up here and stay above this 120, it's on. I think we'll be good. I think we'll be real good. So how long it takes to get there, the path it takes to get there, maybe we pop up, come back down, sideways for a minute, down again and retest the lows. Who knows? Who knows how we do this, but just survive. If September, you want to just relax, you want to keep your eyes open to what's going on. You don't want to take too much time off. You don't want to touch too much grass. You want to accumulate on dips. The market is looking okay. A lot of altcoins are down, and I think some of these altcoins will have some good runs once we do get another altcoin run, 2, 3, 4, some 5x. So we'll talk about the altcoins in another video. But I think Bitcoin right now, we're not looking too bad. We're definitely not looking too bad. So we're going to continue to monitor that. We'll see what happens tomorrow once the news come out. And Ethereum, same thing with Bitcoin. We have a level of 4,500 that we are possibly going to start to test. Looks like we're flagging here too, right under this $4,500 resistance level. I like that. I mean, just look to your left. Look at all this price action. All this price action here, all this price action here, all this price action here. I mean, we can even extend it out and you'll see all this price action, at this $4,500 level. So if we can get back above this $4,500 level, I think we can make a nice quick move, possibly back up to these highs somewhere in between 46 to 46.50. So that'll be a pretty good trade if you want to try to trade that. Break and retest coming in for possibly a 3 to 3.5% move. Put a little leverage on there and you can get a nice move. Not a whole lot. I don't like to preach a lot of leverage, but sometimes in the right situations, under the right circumstances, leverage can be a useful tool if you know how to use it. And speaking of leverage, speaking of trading, I am a $100,000 breakout trader. I have not been trading this at all. I've been trading my own money, but this is really what I think I'm going to start doing. I keep saying it, and then I don't trade. I just trade my own money. But I really think this will be what I'm going to trade going into the tail end of the year. Once we do get that, well, hopefully once we do get Bitcoin to start going back up, hopefully October, going into October, November, December. So my balance is 99,560. So anything over 100K, I will be able to withdraw from Breakout Prop Firm. I got a whole dedicated Breakout Prop Firm video coming about how you can take advantage of the bull run with a funded account. And it's not the way you think. It is not the way you think. So we'll talk about that in a different video. But like I said, right now, we're just going to continue to watch the market, continue to watch Bitcoin, continue to watch Ethereum, because those are going to tell us the direction of the market. And we hopefully this will be the low. Hopefully this 107,300 is the low of this move, and we can just continue to range or go sideways, and then hopefully find some sort of direction going into the tail end of September, early October, and then go from there. Hopefully we can make some life-changing gains going into the tail end of Q4. So this is FD White. Make sure you like, subscribe. Appreciate everybody who's been coming over, all the new people who are here. Telegram will be in the pinned comments. Free Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Club. Discord will be up Saturday. This is going to be so fire. So make sure you guys tune in to the Telegram, and then we can segue over to the Discord this weekend. So appreciate you for watching. If you made it this far, have a good night. Peace.